All right, I'm going to go over exercise 2A, and I'm going to go over some of the commands that we went over during lecture. And I'm just going to give you a rundown on how I draw these up using AutoCAD. We'll go over some of the commands, the keyboard commands that we went over in lecture as well, as a reminder. And so I'm just going to go ahead and draw these and explain step by step exactly what I'm doing. So right now I am drawing a line to create a triangle. Now I'm just going to draw an arbitrary triangle, and I'm going to let AutoCAD help me out in creating this triangle. And what I did is I used the line command, the letter L, spacebar, created this line. Again, this is an arbitrary angle, and I created this line to meet at the very intersection of where, if I was to drop an imaginary line to here, I used AutoCAD to go ahead and create that line. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z to back up to show you, or I'm sorry, yeah, Control Z to back up and show you exactly what I did. Again, L, spacebar, started here, and then I'm just going to drop this right here, left click, and you see these the green line that shoots straight across. I'm going to use that and this point where it intersects right here, left click, and now I have that point. I hit the space bar to get out of the command, the line command, and now what I want to do is use the Mir command, M-I, space bar, and I want to mirror this. Click, left click right there, drop down, right click, and now that is mirrored perfectly. And so I'm done with that command. I hit the space bar to get out of that command. I want to extend this line here, and so I'm going to use the extend command, EX, space bar. I'm going to select the line that I want to extend this line to, hit the space bar, and bam. So now that that triangle is done, hit the space bar to get out of that command, and now I want to offset this to create, so OF for offset, space bar. Now I'm going to specify the distance, 0.25 inches, so a quarter of an inch, space bar. Now I can go ahead and select these lines, and I can go in or out. And so I want to go in and left click, drop that line there, click on this line, again go in, drop it there. And now I have some cleanup to do. So I'm going to zoom in using my mouse wheel to zoom in, and I'm going to use the trim command. So I'm going to get out of this command, TR for trim, hit the space bar again, and just start trimming. I start out here because if I start in here, I'm not going to be able to trim that. So go there, do that, do that, here we go, and there. And so now I created my triangle for triangle shape for exercise 2A. Now I'm going to do this other one. So line command, L, space bar. And what I want to do is I want to make this around the same size. So I'm using this line as a reference. And I'm going to drop this line here. Again, I'm just arbitrarily dropping these angles. I'm choosing them by random. And now I'm going to go about to where I want the halfway point is, because I'm going to mirror again. So get out of that command, delete this, so I select that, the selection tool. So let's back up a little bit and talk about the selection tool. The selection tool is simply left click, and you can either go left or right. And if you notice, if you go left, it changes to green. If you notice it goes right, it changes to blue, this box. And there's two different functions. So when I select something going green, any any line that this green box intersects will select those objects or lines. Now, if I go the opposite way, only the lines that reside within the box will get selected, like so. And so that's how you can use that. You can also, if you left click and hold, you can manipulate the selection tool however you'd like. It kind of does whatever pattern your mouse moves towards. So anyway, I'm just going to select this, delete, and I literally hit the delete button and it goes away. And much like how I mirrored here, I'm going to do the same thing here. So MI, spacebar, and I'm going to mirror from this. There we go. Now it's going to ask me, do I want to erase the source objects? So this is the source object, two objects right here, this line and this line. If there might be an instance where you might want to erase that later, you can click yes and hit the space bar, but right now I don't want to delete anything, so no is fine, and I'm good with that. So now I'm going to do exactly what I did here, is offset OF, oops, and specify 0.25 inches, spacebar, and go back at it. And there we go. Done with that. So trim. I'm going to go ahead and trim this, trim that, and that. Now I'm going to create a line from here to here. Because if you notice on exercise 2A, this line right here is straight. It doesn't meet up here. So it's not. And then I'm just going to do some trimming. Here, here, oops, and there. Done. And so that's relatively quick. I'll go down to the next item. And I'm just going to use this. Now, if you notice that it kind of snaps to the endpoint, and I'm not going to left click. I'm just going to use this as a guide. You see how it has that dash green line to help guide me. I'm using that to my advantage, and I'm going to drop the line right here, and I know it's automatically lined up here. Again, I'm not drawing this for precision. I'm drawing this so I can get used to the line command. Not only just the line command, I know the textbook doesn't really talk about the Mir command yet, but I'm getting you a little ahead so you can get quick with this. And so I want to make this roughly about the same size of that. Just go up. Again, this is nothing fancy. There's no precision here. This is you getting used to the line command and the interface with AutoCAD. And there you go. Right, and for the final object that I'm going to create, again, I'm just going to use these construction lines to kind of guide me as to where I want to put these lines in between. And so, again, I want to create you know, this arbitrary line. I wanted to pass this line because if you notice, you get close, it'll try and snap to that. I can always trim that. And so what I want to do is trim these lines. I don't need them anymore. This line I can delete, create another line, and again I'm going to go halfway. Use the Mir command and mirror this. And what I want to do is offset, and I'm going to go 1/2 inch. See how that looks. Again, I'm just choosing arbitrary stuff. See how it looks, and that looks pretty close. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use the trim command, trim all this, and voila, done. Okay, now that I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and save it. File, save as. Oh yeah, don't forget to use the save command, always. I'm going to go ahead and save it to my desktop, but you can save it to wherever you need it to save. And I'm just going to call this exercise 2A save. So you're going to turn in that AutoCAD file, and you're also going to turn in a PDF. And to create a PDF, you can go to Print, go to AutoCAD General, PDF General documentation right here, and center plot, preview. Okay, that's too small. I'm going to go and exit. Go to Window, and I'm going to select this corner and this corner. Preview. Okay, your PDF should look like this. So I'm going to right click, exit, hit OK, and it's going to ask where you want to save it to. I'm going to save it to my desktop. It already has the name, the file name that I want. So save, and bam, it's done. Let me open it up here. And there you go. Voila, this is my PDF. This is what it looks like. Go ahead and close out of that. All right, so now that you have the file saved, what you can do is wait till you do lessons 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come over to lessons and submit your assignment. Click on submit. You can choose your file. You can add as many files as you want. So you're going to have 2 files per lesson, and so you're going to have quite a few that are in there, and that's okay. Some of you have already submitted a file, and that's fine. You can resubmit. There is a resubmit option, but that's it. All right.